update. Yeah. I did. Yeah. What day do you normally go? Yeah. We can do a Monday afternoon or something like that. I mean, Monday mornings are busy, but times the bus comes. You can do like a noon or 1 o'clock or something like that.
I got a burger deal up there.
Yeah.
It's like $9.
Yeah.
Is there room for it? So what did you, what system did you, well, it should say what it is, it doesn't matter, right? What's your Apple?
Oh, the operating system?
Yeah.
Oh, it's old. Yeah.
Yeah. But you should still be able to update to the latest system though.
Sometimes with that.
No. Let's start in 1 minute. How old is that? All right, 6 o'clock. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you everybody for joining us for the March 7th, 2022 Credit River City Council meeting. We will start with approving or amending the agenda. Does any council member have a amendment to tonight's agenda? Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Al. Motion is second to approve the agenda as printed. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Next up, Sheriff's update. Deputy Strack, welcome. Good.
You guys don't have the report and I don't have the report, but I went through my ICRs of what I handled in February, and there's nothing that stood out. We did have another crash on 185th just east of Murphy Lake when we had the snow the last week or the week before.
Yep.
No major injuries. We did have a second, was it in February? I think it was second T-bone crash at the stoplights. So
Yeah, how much you can do about that?
nah, people just need to stop running the red lights. We have had a couple ordinance stuff, another dog barking one, and then we just got, well, this will be the March one, but we just got a rooster complaint. So,
Okay.
I got a dog.
Yeah.
and then update, August 13th is going to be the Credit River / Sheriff's Office / Three Rivers Park event in Clear Lake Park, 1 to 4. So that's a big, there'll be sounds like there's gonna be some food trucks. And then Prairie Lake Fire, Med Fire with their drone unit Alina, and then Lifelink has confirmed that they will, as long as there's no live transports or weather. And then our rec safety, and then the DNR Fish and Wildlife guy will be there too. So
Nice.
spread the word. The sheriff's office will put something together and put it on Facebook, but
Yeah.
you can share it so we can get more and more people,
Absolutely.
specifically for Credit River people. But that park gets used by everybody. So,
It does.
and then
What day of the week is that?
I think it's Saturday
Okay.
from 1 to 4. So just 3 hours. We'll see how it
Yep.
goes. But August 13th. And we have had a bunch of calls and complaints when it's nice out, the dog park's getting used like crazy. And they're parking on Three Rivers frontage road to their thing. And I'm guessing as it gets worse and worse, they're gonna start trying to park on 190th. So I'll keep you updated on that, whether there's tickets issued or not, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they ask you to come and enforce that, or? 'Cause they have
depends.
their own.
Yeah, it depends on if their security guy is on.
Okay.
They only have one for the area down here.
Sure.
So I like to enforce it just because that's where we get a lot of our smash and grabs.
Yep.
But and it's in Credit River, so
Yeah.
call loads.
Is that posted? I can't remember if that's posted over there.
Of no parking?
Yeah.
It's not. So Three Rivers would have to handle it.
Yep.
They've been putting cones up and they're talking about posting it. They're also talking about putting cameras in Murphy and Cleary and in Dog Park, and then posting that they have cameras. So
Sure.
So as the busy season comes, but other than that, nothing major, no major issues, nothing stood out in February.
What would be an example? I see this in the, I get the email from the county service that comes up the digest every week of the things that happen. What would be an example of electronic harassment?
Social media, through Facebook, cell phones, any social media based website. If I'm harassing you through that, and that's how it's all done now.
Okay.
There is no more, I'm coming to your property and
Right.
harassing you. It's all
I
electronic.
just see that popping up on there more and more.
Yep. A lot of it comes down to, was it a domestic or is it just harassment? They partners break up and then I'm harassing you because I keep texting or calling you.
Right.
So there's the domestic side of it, which you got the OFP, the order of protection, and then you got the harassment side, which is a harassment restraining order.
Yeah.
Everything is, when you see the electronic, it's just social media based.
Okay.
So yeah, it's coming up more and more because that's all these kids are using.
Mhm.
And adults too. I mean, how we live our lives, I guess.
I guess.
So,
Okay.
other than that, I don't got nothing else for you guys. Questions?
Brent, Andrew, Al, anything for?
No, all good.
Cool.
Perfect.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Stay safe out there.
have a good one.
You too. Consent agenda. Those items on the city council agenda which are considered routine or non-controversial are included as part of the consent agenda. Unless a council member specifically requests that an item on consent agenda be removed and considered separately, items on the consent agenda are considered under one motion, a second, and a vote. Any item removed from the consent agenda shall be placed on the agenda under old business. Tonight on the consent agenda, we have the treasurer's report. We have a resolution 2022-09 approving plans and specs and ordering advertisement for bids for the 2022 overlay project. We have resolution 2022-10 approving a preliminary and final plat for the Spiker edition. We have the February 7th, 2022 council meeting minutes and the February 22nd, 2022 council meeting minutes. Is there anything on the consent agenda tonight that a council member would like to pull and consider separately? I would then take a motion and a second to approve consent agenda tonight. Thank you, Al.
Second.
Thank you, Brent. A motion and a second to approve tonight's consent agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Open forum. The public forum is intended to afford the public an opportunity to address concerns to the city council. The public forum will be no longer than 30 minutes in length, and each presenter will have no more than 5 minutes to speak. Topics of discussion are restricted to local governmental topics rather than private or political agendas. The city council may discuss but will not take formal action on public forum presentations. Do we have anybody that'd like to speak for open forum tonight? We'll take microphone's
It's
on.
on. It's on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Tim Conroy, Johanna Drive, Credit River. First question, now that we're a city, what are we doing with the ordinances of people taking care of their property? Vehicles, riffraff, starting projects, not finishing them, trailers in front yards, things like that. That's one question. The next question was the minutes. Why, when we look online, are the minutes so far behind? When you go online, it's not available to see the minutes. It looks like I read January's
Sure.
posting.
So Tim, as we just approved February, both of February's meeting minutes tonight, so
Right.
they'll get posted now. They don't get posted until they're approved.
But it seems so far, and I'm wondering why that is.
It's usually not that far behind. We try to keep up with it closer than that, but sometimes I think we had a little situation this last month that prevented us from getting them approved any sooner. So normally we try to, like on February 22nd, we should have approved the February 7th ones and then posted them. Usually get approved at the next meeting.
Okay. All right.
But we don't publish them until they're approved. We
Right.
just approved them, you know. 2
So how
minutes.
long does it take once they get approved to be published then, I guess is the question.
Yeah, usually within this week, they'll get posted to the website.
And is it able to get on a list that as soon as it's posted, it can be emailed then to somebody or not yet?
Not yet. So stand by with that thought because we are just beginning the process of standing up a new website that will have that functionality. Our current website just doesn't have it. It's just too old of a platform. And it's
2008 was, well, the only time we really updated the website because
Right.
it's when we did the first website, it was
Yeah.
in 2008. So we're 14 years in with the technology, but we're getting there.
yeah.
Okay,
So that should be, our goal is to have that up by August. Yeah.
okay.
And then you'll be able to sign up for automatic updates for any part of it that you wish.
Now also, they're putting in, some say fiber optics, some say something else with that construction site on 27. They've been working their way down John Deere and Casey. The water table's pretty low over there. They dug a hole and it rained it full of water. Is there any planning on doing any ditching or sloping in that neighborhood to accommodate the culverts? Leroy's not here today, but I know we talked about it and they keep kicking the can down the road. Is that some of that COVID money allowed for that? Or the DNR or Scott County's got that? You can use funding to help with ditching programs. That was in that Scott County update pamphlet last Saturday. I was at home, so I had time to read some stuff. So
What did you do to your arm, by the way?
shoulder surgery.
Oh,
So I've been home reading and studying and there's money out there. I don't know if the county can give any to the city to help do any drainage or trenching or ditching or whatever, I guess, on that. But if they're not burying that stuff low enough, when we go to do that, it's going to be too shallow.
So the permit on those utility permits, and in fact, I just read one the other day because one of the other neighbors asked me about something. They were concerned about the restoration, and the permit specification does require them to restore after they've done. And it does require a certain depth that they be buried at as well. And so, you know.
But if the culvert's
considered-
already 8 inches above, they're going down there 28 inches. Once we come in and do our ditching, it's going to be,
Yeah, I think that I don't know that we would ever be able to dig down any further than it's, in fact, I was talking to one of your neighbors the other day, that whole neighborhood is, I mean, you could put a level across that neighborhood basically. and
Yep.
She actually had the lowest spot and which is lower than all the
She has a-
ditches and
she has a
everything.
pool today.
You know which one,
Yep,
which one I'm
and-
talking
and-
about,
and
because
I
you have to
don't-
drive by it.
and you can't make water run the other direction.
Right.
And it's
That-
just,
That's the lowest spot in the whole neighborhood right there.
and unfortunately, she's got a daycare and
I know,
I don't think they got enough life jackets, but.
yeah,
Okay, thanks for clearing that up for me. And I know
How-
there was
how many-
something
How
else.
many times have we been out there?
yeah.
Because you know that.
It's,
Leroy's been out there probably once a year.
Yep.
And I was out there a couple times because we've talked about it. I don't know if there's a solution.
I don't know if there is either, just because again, it's so flat.
I mean, I know my stretch has actually gained 8 inches because it's just the way the winter, the plow,
Yeah.
and it's that much of a, which is beautiful to mow, but when it rains, now it's getting close to my
Mhm.
well. And if it's calcium chloride and everything from the freeway, it's not a good. So if they do come, I want to make sure if I have to, I'll have to ditch it just to make it better. But yeah, it's an ongoing issue that,
That's not something short term that we could do, Tim, because it would require a lot of engineering to figure out. Just what would we do?
Well, it would
And
probably
none of
be,
that, but there would be, you'd have to probably replace a bunch of culverts.
and we would, it would
all
probably
flared.
be when there
You know,
would be a
none of them
road
have
project in there.
None of them have any flared ends on them, which is part of the problem. A lot of.
or you'd
people
have to go back
a lot
to,
of
they were
people
probably
have
just ditched
Landscaping built up.
and the
around
water
their
stayed in it
culverts,
back
and
then probably.
it's,
It was probably just ditches and it stayed there.
Some of it needs to be cleaned out. I mean, there's various, that whole neighborhood, Tim,
Yeah.
is full of various.
Oh yeah, the
different
neighbors next to
situations.
me, she's got raccoons in them because they're coming through my yard now. and
Yeah.
Waking me up. Got the new ring ding ding, so, okay, thanks for clearing that email thing or that minutes,
Website,
so I can
minutes.
understand
Yep.
that.
Yeah, no, our goal, Tim, is certainly to have better communication. That's part of the reason with this particular platform on the website that we're going with is because it has the best communication tools available to a government entity.
Okay,
So
all right,
we just need to get it growing. Too bad you can't flip a switch and make it happen, right?
well, it's not, doesn't be that big of a hurry, but it just, it seemed like it was, you go on the website and it's not available, and I kind of want to see what we paid for snow plowing, because what we're paying, he's still driving at 95 or 97 International. I think he's got the same blade he had on last year. I don't think it's all the way down. It's like it's just skimming, but we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Thank you,
I'm glad he's
Tim.
doing it because we wouldn't have anybody else.
Well, I think you have experience in that, don't you?
I have experience. and
We need,
that's-
we could use our first plow
I'm
driver.
trying-
Well, we have one plow driver driving our grader now. Now we just need somebody to drive a truck, Tim.
I'm trying to figure.
You still have your CDL?
I still have a CDL.
Sounds like a volunteer.
And the wife, well, actually, the wife is toying with the fact that
Yeah,
could you be off work and do that for the week and then go back to work and then. So I am thinking about.
sir, if you're ready to
But
speak.
you'll need an automatic transmission.
If you don't
with
mind,
the
you wanna
arm
come up
right.
and then sign in
Oh, that'll be all,
There's a-
that'll be done. Okay.
sign in. Up there.
Sign in.
Yep, sign in, then state your name and address, please, when you're ready to start.
All right. My name is John Holger. I don't know if I need this. I know.
I know you, John.
I know Brent knows, me. It's been a
I-
long
I
time.
know
I
you.
COVID and everything. And I spoke to Chris, Brett don't remember me, but some time ago about when Credit River was going to become a city and some
Parks
planning
and-
planning
Parks and
options. but-
planning and stuff.
Yeah, parks.
Yeah,
I'm, in
remember
my other
John.
life, I was retired. I'm a retired park superintendent for the city of Lakeville. So I love parks, trees and everything. But my thing here today is, and I'm not gonna get on some big stump about environmental stuff, but it's kind of coincidence that I saw the salt, use of salt thing there. That's because that's what I'm here for. I called Leroy about this and he suggested I come to a meeting. You guys know where Leroy lives, I'm sure, and I'm his neighbor up the hill, up Jennifer Lane and Brittany Ridge. You know, years back, I don't think they salted to speak of way back in the old days, but over the years, I've noticed more and more spot salting on the road. And of course, my garage, where the main car we drive all the time, you can tell that's why it's salt damage. The cement floor is shot now. It's taken a lot of years, but salt is just harmful to the environment. And it's, I just walked out to my mailbox the other day. We had a little rain overnight and I had just got the paper, and when I came in, I had my shoes, we put them on a rubber mat. I had them on the mudroom floor where there's some green tile and a white tile, whatever. Sure enough, some salt dripped off those shoes and stained that green linoleum tile. I think it's wrecked the spot. It was not that. It's just, my point is the stuff is toxic. It's getting in the ditches. And my thought, my request or my
plea here is that could we look into decreasing the amount of salt they're using on a just a residential road? I called a friend of mine still with City Lakeville and the street department. He said, they don't salt residential runs up to the intersections or hills they do, but just, basic blocks and blocks of residential roads. They don't do that. And my point is, why do we really need to do it on these flat surfaces? And what was it, Tim? Response to your comment on the plows. I've often wondered if they're if they've got a shoe under there, I know once you're never going to have the plow can't beat everybody to the road. Everybody's going to get out before him with 4-wheel drive and whatnot, pack down their wheels, and the plow tends to ride up over that compacted material. Lakeville fortunately has some money, and they have underbelly plows that have actually 500 pounds of down pressure that can scrape that stuff off. But all that said, I mean, just there's no manholes, manhole covers. We don't have sewer and water, so I don't know why they couldn't. If they don't do that now, we could ask, I don't know who's doing the contracting plowing now, but they could get the plow down, get those wear bars right down to the pavement. In my driveway, even if I don't get to it right away and I drive over it, I don't know if it does, I like to get it right out of there. But I've got a blacktop driveway, and within days, even in the middle of winter with the sun seems to have a lot of power these days, it'll be black within a number of days. And everybody can just slow down. I mean, nobody should be driving out of, where I'm talking about out there. You don't need to be driving down those roads, in a big hurry. It's dangerous anyway. So that's my question. I don't know if we need to, something you guys can look into or try to minimize, because it's more and more spots. And then, their idea is, and Leroy said, well, if I don't have them solved, I'm going to get complaints that it's dangerous, but I don't think so. I mean, and like I say, the stuff does wreck things. I'll have to redo my cement floor in the garage pretty soon here. And that's just salt damage. So that's my,
Okay.
I don't know any suggestions or what, if.
Well, John, I'll
anything
say, I
can
know,
do.
we do use a quarter of the salt that we used to use. We've
Okay.
reduced it over the past several years, as they've calibrated their equipment and, again, the strategy of, mostly just intersections and coming up to stop. So then the cars coming in, spread it in, as they track it in. So we've reduced it significantly already.
Good. That's good to hear. And once you're on 27, I get the big collector roads and highways, you've got to have some salt. But again, residential, my daughter lives in Minneapolis, they don't put salt on. You just drive over a snowpack and you take it easy, So bottom of Jennifer Lane or the hill, I think they probably definitely salt that a little. Coming up to 27, yeah. But you got, I'm back on Jennifer, it's 3/4 of a mile to 27 and all these salt spots. And then I can be going home on 27 or any other road and have the car free of sludge, By the time I get in I actually start parking over the years. I've parked outside of, in the driveway and go around. I kicked all this salt sludge comes falling off, and that's all from driving in on 167th Street. So,
Sure.
yeah.
But we always continue to look at that stuff year to year, and as technology gets better, definitely the strategy has changed over the years.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I don't. I'd just like to see him eliminate the salt on the stretches, and I don't know if there's anything I can do to.
Hopefully, we don't need it anymore this season.
Yeah. Well, I get it. That last event was kind of
was a lot of
hairy.
ice.
You got freezing rain is bad news. That's the worst. But they get more of that in Texas, I think, than we get here. So that's not like that's a major problem. But
we appreciate, John, with your concern. We'll note
Okay.
that for future
Thank you.
thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, John,
Thank you,
thank
John.
you.
Anybody else for open forum tonight? You had your time, Tim.
No, that's it. We've gone to a chemical that's in the salt when they purchase. It's not just straight salt, it has an additive to it. So it works below 10 degrees.
Yeah.
And that's mainly what you're getting. It's not pure salt like it used to be.
Yeah.
And the other issue is we have people that want to drive faster and get to where they're going. So they want to have traction.
Yeah.
But here again, it snowed, the truck started in some district, some area over there. Billy took Sarah to school, Steve went to the gym, 5 guys left the neighborhood.
Right.
Or plow comes back to try to get to the bottom.
I got it.
He's putting down a certain amount, whether he forgot to turn off the sander or put it on and going, okay, that, I'm gonna burn this part of the road off. He puts it down, but the reason you're getting it in the house now is because of that added chemical that's in this
Mhm.
salt that we're buying. Yeah, it's not pure salt.
Like. It's not from flat straight over here. You know.
All right.
you've been out there, it shouldn't be
So,
more 40.
John, we're gonna move on, okay?
5 minutes, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, just follow. Thank you.
Bill? Yeah.
Hi, Bill Markert, 7690 Crestview Drive. I just want to thank the city council for having the chief of the fire department of Prior Lake on February 22nd. I thought it was great information. Would we be willing to post that presentation online? Because this February 22nd doesn't have any documents from that meeting online right now. So if you can get the chief to
put that
maybe
presentation in.
give us the
We've got it.
presentation
It's
so we
in our
can.
packet.
Okay, good. It
Yeah.
just hasn't been posted yet then.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
the PowerPoint presentation, there was no documents from the February 22nd meeting. Okay, okay. And then the second thing, I don't know if this is a problem or not, we had an overlay done in my subdivision last summer.
Mhm.
And it was done in August, and I thought I was gonna have at least a year or two where we have pristine blacktop roads. Is it normal?
Lateral cracking.
Yeah, there's a ton of cracking already. And so it lasted 4
Every-
months.
Pretty much every overlay, you'll have lateral cracking the
Ye-
first winter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So they'll
then
just tar that up.
Typically, those are always in our, the following year's crack filling.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know if that was normal or not, or
Yeah.
they did it wrong or whatever. So,
No, it's
Okay.
pretty normal.
Extreme
It's,
temperatures.
Yeah.
okay, very good.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thanks,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Appreciate it. All right, anybody else for open forum tonight? Got nothing, Tom? Good? All right. Carolyn? Well, why not? We've already gone past the record time. We can't beat the record meeting time anymore, so, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's good to hear people talk. All right, we'll close open forum. The only thing we got left tonight is to approve the listing of claims. So let's see, check summary. Tonight's claims, we have the amount of $23,608.72. Is there any of those claims in there that anybody'd like to discuss or anything? You guys are good. I would take a motion. Thank you, Al.
Second.
Thank you, Brent. A motion and a second to approve the claims tonight for $23,608.72. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Next up, motion to adjourn. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Al. Motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Good night.